The 1970s was dominated by the amazing Amazon, flying from comic book to TV screen. And as it turns out, the woman entrusted to bring the hero to life, Lynda Carter, did so while being the most beautiful and strongest woman of the decade. But was Lynda even the original Wonder Woman? Was she overpaid or underpaid? How much did she make each episode? Why in the heck did Wonder Woman get canceled? And what disease has Lynda Carter fought even after she fought evil as Wonder Woman? Today we're catching up with her. Is she married? Does she have kids? How much is her net worth after all is said and done? I'm Nostalgic Nick, and today we're gonna find out all these answers and more. So if you enjoy our video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you catch our next nostalgic deep dive. Now let's kick into action. Who was the original Wonder Woman? It's the early 1940s, and readers are rifling through the dawn of comic book heroes. Issue number 8 of All-Star Comics hits the shelves, and in those pages we meet Princess Diana of Themyscira. Tall, lean, strong, beautiful, and inspiring. The world was at war, and in walked or kicked this revolutionary hero, breaking all the norms, winning over evil, and becoming an international icon. With popularity came merchandising and adaptations, a lot of them.
I don't understand what's happening.
Crossovers, cartoons, figurines. And in 1974, we got a made-for-TV film starring Kathy Lee Crosby. But this showed Diana more like 007. No, the enduring face of Wonder Woman came the following year with Lynda Carter. Descended from gods, Diana has divine beauty, something that Lynda Carter could easily provide. In college, she was voted most talented, and then Arizona deemed her the most beautiful in a beauty pageant. So Lynda won the opportunity to represent the Grand Canyon State in Miss World USA. And then for the International Miss World event, she represented her country and placed in the top 15 out of 53 contestants. At just 21 years old, it was clear Lynda Carter was destined for greatness. Jump ahead to Wonder Woman, and at just 24, Lynda Carter became one of the most recognizable faces in the world. How much did Lynda Carter make per episode?
They've threatened your life if I try to do anything.
And you must lead our Amazons to victory over these evil men.
For a lot of viewers, Diana became a symbol of women's liberation and empowerment. And surprisingly, that was also reflected pretty well in Carter's treatment on the show. When the show began, she netted $3,500 per episode, and as it became more successful, Carter's pay rose to a whopping $6,000. And in an age where women, often with more time in the industry, had to fight for equal pay, Lynda Carter actually earned more than her male co-star Lyle Wagner. And we know salary disputes have dissolved longer-lasting shows for being unfair, but Lynda Carter certainly got her dues. She also worked pretty hard for it. In fact, Carter did all of her own stunts, including the one where she hangs from that helicopter. The network might not have been thrilled, but there was no stopping the amazing Amazon. And she also had some creative input in the show. Her famous spin is a dancing technique used to twirl around without getting dizzy. Diana's not the only unparalleled athlete out there. Lynda Carter also has a lot of dancing experience, and she incorporates her skills into the choreography. Who is Lynda Carter's husband in real life? Lynda Carter learned some lessons about love, loss, and when to cut ties. In 1977, she tied the knot with Ron Samuels, her former talent agent who was much older than she. But sadly, the years that followed were deeply unhappy for her, and she has a bit of advice for 20-year-old Carter, saying, quote, "Don't marry the first person that proposes to you." She calls herself stupid for the marriage, and the couple split in 1982. But love was still in the cards for her. Once again, her glamorous experience as a model helped, since it was at a dinner hosted by Maybelline that Carter met a New York lawyer named Robert Altman. At that time, she was settling her divorce and wasn't looking for love, but it found her. The two found a soulmate, ready to put those promises in sickness and in health to the test. Because first, Robert was accused of fraud, during which time Carter supported him every day until he was acquitted on all counts. And then came Carter's own battle with alcoholism. But all he wanted was her to be healthy, so he saw her through it. Honestly, this is a true Hollywood love story. Why was Wonder Woman canceled? Wonder Woman actually changed homes a couple times. It began on ABC, and its first season would be its highest ranked, landing at number 45. But that performance wasn't enough to get ABC enthusiastic about renewing it, so CBS picked it up.
I'm sure she'd rather stay here with you. With us.
New place, new time, not just in a primetime slot, but a new era. Since the comics, Wonder Woman is most famous for her involvement in World War II. But CBS decided to move the setting to the 1970s. The year ticked up, but the ranking did the opposite, dropping to number 66 and 69. Still, it drew in about 12 million households, but ratings weren't outstanding. So, CBS didn't technically cancel Wonder Woman, but when the deadline to renew came, the network let it pass and expire. If you ask Lynda Carter, leaving the 1940s was the definitive cause of Wonder Woman ending. A view shared by Wagner too. Did you prefer one or the other? Which era did you prefer? What disease does Lynda Carter have? Playing Wonder Woman made Lynda Carter a star, but it also made her a sex symbol, much to her chagrin. She once shared, quote, "I never meant to be a sexual object for anyone but my husband. I never thought a picture of my body would be tacked up in men's bathrooms. I hate men looking at me and thinking what they think, and I know what they think, they write and tell me." By her mid-20s, the eyes had taken a toll, and Carter was drinking to cope. The worst of it waxed and waned over the years, and it continued into her second marriage. Robert begged her to stop for the kids and him, and Carter begged God to help her find a way. Finally, she entered rehab, and we are happy to report she has over 2 decades of sobriety under her wondrous belt. But her grief wasn't over yet. Family has always been important to her, and she comes from a pretty interesting one too, just like her TV counterpart. Instead of the Amazonian queen and Zeus, she's got an English, Scottish, Irish dad and a mom with roots in Mexico. That's where the Cordova in her name comes from. And since Spanish was her mom's first language, Carter actually grew up understanding it. Good practice for Diana, who speaks every language. But Lynda has lost it over the years. She was very close to her mom, Jean, and she'd fly from outside DC to Arizona to see her. And over time, she noticed her mom had memory issues. She didn't recognize streets and didn't trust herself to drive at night. She stopped cleaning herself, and one checkup later, her mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Getting this information helped get them on the path to improvement, but Carter took her own steps. She never said that infamous phrase, "Don't you remember?" She introduced herself as the favorite child, and when her mom struggled, she told her it's okay. Lynda Carter's mother passed away in 2013 at 89 years old. But Lynda carries a passion for Alzheimer's research to this day. Just like Themyscira's champion, Carter used her own powerful platform, along with celebrities like Valerie Bertinelli and Ashton Kutcher, to raise awareness for key research efforts. And the fight might not be over yet. Her family's history with dementia goes deep, but Carter is only getting more informed every day about combating this condition. Then, in early 2021, her longtime husband Robert Altman died of a rare type of leukemia, another heartbreaking loss for the entire family. Who is Lynda Carter's daughter? In 1988 and 1990, Carter and Robert welcomed 2 bundles of joy, James and Jessica. Both ended up interested in law like Dad, though Jessica also caught onto dance and music like Mom. Lynda calls motherhood her greatest adventure and says this quiet life has way more substance than her busiest Hollywood years. Both kids went to the same law school as Dad, and Jessica got a job in litigation. But she's also building her own path in music. She often sings along with Mom when she takes the stage, and Jessica has a new EP out called For You. On it, a song called Cherry Blossoms, all about the loss of Jessica's dad.
There's something about that April air. Cherry blossoms make me stare.
Where is Lynda Carter today? There was a point when Lynda Carter made $1 million thanks to Wonder Woman. That was one of the highest contracts at the time, and she's also fully embraced her musical roots, touring on and off and releasing a CD that reached number 6 on Billboard. Red, Rockin' Blues dropped in 2018, but she's also made some heroic additions to her filmography. From 2016 to 2018, she appeared on the DC show Supergirl. Then in Wonder Woman 1984, she had a stunning cameo as Asteria, a strong, mysterious warrior who's been at this hero thing a bit too long. And we will see her again for Wonder Woman 3. Through all this, Carter has received letter after letter from women all over the world, telling her how much her portrayal means to them, and how she showed them their own inner strength. So, even when she's not donning Diana's shining tiara, Lynda Carter is still pretty amazing, which has certainly paid off as she now has a net worth of $10 million. The world is ready for you and all you can do. That's what Carter showed everyone at a time when we needed it most. She took the persona of a comic book hero, brought it to TV, and then carried those ideals into her real life. So now I want to hear from you. Which era did you prefer Diana fighting in? Who else did that spin to get ready to fight some crime as a kid? And is Lynda Carter the most significant sex symbol of the 1970s? Get in those comments, the lasso of truth compels you. And before you go, if you enjoyed our video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you catch our next trip to faraway lands. But from all of us here at Do You Remember, we want to thank you for watching.